I don't feel like getting out of bed, so I'm gonna make this video right in my bed. Today I'm talking pricing, and I'm talking about how to get the best prices in the Caribbean alongside the best weather. Now you can book the Caribbean during the off season, during the non-peak season, and get phenomenal pricing, but the weather is going to be less than desirable, and that is putting it very mildly. Or you can book during peak season and pay astronomical prices, but there is a sweet spot where you can get very, very affordable pricing and still pretty much get the best weather. That's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm in Punta Cana right now, day 35. This is officially the end of week number 5 here in Punta Cana. This has been my longest trip ever, anywhere. It's been a wild trip, a crazy trip, a fun trip, an unforgettable trip, also a choresome, taxing, and arduous trip, okay? It's been all the above. It's everything pretty much you look for in travel. When you're traveling, you want all that stuff. You want some perilous times, and you want some amazing times. That's really what makes travel, and I certainly have gotten all of those and more. Will I do a trip longer than this in the future? As of right now, I can't see myself ever traveling again for more than 3 weeks. I think that's really the sweet spot if you really want to get away and have a vacation or a travel. But who knows, maybe after I get more stamina and maybe after I become more accustomed and acclimated to these longer trips, maybe I'll go away for 2 months, who knows. But I am in Punta Cana. I've done hotel videos on 7 hotels. This is hotel number 9. This is my staging hotel. Right now I'm at the Marriott AC. It's an AC hotel. It's by Marriott. It's downtown. This is my staging hotel. Typically I do a staging hotel when I land. Sometimes I'll book just a regular hotel, nothing I'm gonna put on my channel, just for a day or two to kind of just relax and defeat jet lag, get acclimated, get organized, kind of set up my trip, and then hit the ground running. This time I'm doing a staging hotel at the end of my trip. I've done really nothing but sleep, get my mind straight, get my head right, organize my thoughts, organize my content so I can go back. So I've done 7 hotel videos in the Dominican Republic on Punta Cana. Check them out. I'll put them in the description below. And I got some amazing pricing. In my next video, I'm gonna reveal my prices for these hotels. You definitely wanna check these out. You're gonna be amazed at the prices I got. And I used this model alongside another model I'm gonna make in another video, how to get the best pricing, period. I have a bulletproof plan where I basically give a 3-point plan on how to get the best prices anywhere. And it's not because I'm a Marriott ambassador and because I use points or I use miles or they give me discounts or freebies. I pay for every hotel and I book the standard way. I mean, a lot of these hotels, like the ones you just saw, they aren't Marriott hotels. So I just book them just like anyone else would, just like a regular consumer, and I got phenomenal pricing. There's definitely a method behind it, and in another video I'm gonna explain that. But today I'm talking about how to get the best prices in the Caribbean, and it's in the Caribbean, not just Punta Cana, but I mean anywhere that's close to the Caribbean. So we're talking Cancun, we're talking Miami, we're talking Bahamas, I'm talking Aruba. If you wanna book the best prices and still get good weather, let's talk about it. So there's definitely an on-season and an off-season in the Caribbean, just like there is in Bali and in Thailand. And you can stay in the off-season and really get terrible weather. And that would probably be in the Caribbean, June, July, and August, pretty much September. And when you get into July, August, September, that kind of marks the start of hurricane season. And you can get tremendous rates, but you're gonna get pretty bad weather. And now you could luck out. I've lucked out in Cancun over July. I've lucked out, in Miami, over July, August. But that's not to say the weather, even if it is good, which it usually isn't, it's usually like mercurial. It usually comes in waves. Rain 2 days, sunshine 1 day, rain in the morning, and then sunshine in the afternoon or vice versa. Even if you do get good weather, it's gonna be like ungodly humid and just really just nasty outside from a humidity perspective. So when should you book? My favorite time to book hotels is actually at the end of hurricane season and when it leads in to peak season. Okay, so hurricane season is off season, and then non-hurricane season is peak season, tourist season. Peak season is typically from November to April. Now, if you book during prime time peak season, like December, and surprisingly, Christmas and like Thanksgiving and New Year's, I would think that those normally would be times where you'd get great deals. I was shocked, and you might be shocked at how many people take vacations over those times. Like, I had no idea that people travel to Hawaii, and I know Hawaii is not in the Caribbean, but people will travel to these tropical destinations over Christmas. I always thought that Christmas, and call me a traditionalist, I always thought that Christmas was a time to spend at home with the family and hunker down and enjoy gifts and the presence of others. But there are tons of people, literally tons of people, that will travel to these beautiful destinations to celebrate Christmas, which as a traveler I can really respect and appreciate. And Christmas is really prime time during peak season. So it's late December, January, February. Those are going to be very expensive times. Yes, it's peak season, so you're going to pay very high rates. What I like to do, and this is pretty much the crux of the video, is I like to book at the end of hurricane season and the start of peak season. So at the end of hurricane season, yes, it's still technically hurricane season, and it's just lumped in with the rest of hurricane season, but since it's the end, you are less likely to get bad weather than you would be during the middle or the start of hurricane season. So I always like to book at the end. For me, the end of hurricane season is the last 2 weeks of October, okay? So the last 2 weeks of October lead right into November. November is the start of tourist season. That's when you really get the phenomenal weather, and the bad weather, the hurricanes, usually subside. So October 15th to November 1st are absolutely the best 2 weeks price-wise. And then when you get to November 1st, even though that's the start of tourist season, it isn't high demand tourist season. It's not peak season. So you might pay incrementally higher rates starting November 1st, but they are still going to be very low in comparison to what you may pay middle of December, definitely late December and January. So that's really my hack about when to book in the Caribbean for the best weather and best prices. Book at the end of hurricane season. A lot of companies, a lot of hotels still consider it hurricane season, even though it's at the end. The weather is typically subsiding. Yeah, you might hit a bad storm at the end of it. That's just bad luck. But more often than not, you're gonna get waning weather. You're gonna get great sunshine, cheaper rates, and in my opinion, overall the best value. Not to mention, the hotels usually aren't as populated as they are in December or January, which is something that appeals to me. And to hit on a point outside this video, typically airline prices are cheaper during that time as well. And of course, you can find your great deals in July. $200 beautiful 5-star hotels, ultra luxurious for a great price. But the minute you step outside, it is sticky, it's balmy, it's instant sweat, it's uncomfortable humidity, not to mention it's mercurial rain nonstop. Or you can book in December, January, February, but pay astronomical premium prices. If you are a budget-minded consumer, a value-minded consumer, someone who's frugal and wants the most for your money, book October 15th to November 15th. It is the best time to get the best prices alongside the best weather.